Hello, hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, love attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. In this video, we are going to talk about manifesting a special person. We're going to talk about twin flames, soulmates, divine masculine energy, divine feminine energy. And I am very, very passionate about this because I believe that all humans deserve to be in connection with each other, loving each other, and not just an intimate partnership like a marriage, but just in all ways. I know that I have found my greatest joy in spending time with my nieces and my nephews, and I'm able to enjoy it more because I'm in my feminine energy when I'm with them. I'm the nurturer, I'm the receiver, and I'm really just sitting there allowing them to be them. And they feel so seen, they feel so heard. They just want to spend more and more time with me because they love how they feel when they're with an adult that wants nothing from them, that doesn't need them to be a certain way. They can just express themselves, they can play, they can laugh, and I allow all of it. And if they ask for guidance in any way, or if I see them in a situation where they might need support, then I offer and ask if they're open for advice. And it's just a really open, expansive space where a human can be in a room and just be themselves. And they also feel so incredibly loved, seen, and heard. And as humans, we all want to be seen and heard. Think about how you live your life. I was even thinking about this as I was getting ready this morning and I was dolling up, and then I opened up my computer and my camera, and I just was like, I love being seen. I love being able to share my wisdom and my experiences, and me just even talking about my nieces and my nephews on YouTube for everyone to hear. Like, that lights me up that I get to be seen sharing that. Whereas if I didn't post a video and I just had that stuff in my brain and I was just walking through the day, yes, I'm completely content with that because I'm experiencing this way of life. But I feel so much better knowing that maybe my one sentence will open up another mom or dad or aunt or uncle or whoever to change the way they are showing up in their partnerships, in their relationships with their family members. And that changes your life. You become a more loving individual and people want to be around you, which makes your life better. So in this video, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the divine feminine, the divine masculine energy, how we're meant to show up in partnership, and then how that actually draws in a twin flame energy or a special person, however you like to label it. And with twin flames, it is said that there is one soul split into two different bodies who have similar experiences, similar soul lessons, karmic lessons, and it's an energy. So it's not a typical soulmate relationship where soulmate is like hunky dory, picket fence, everything's easy. They seem to flow. They have a lot in common, a lot of the same interests, where twin flames can be polar opposite. One might be very, very spiritually awakened. The other one is completely out of that world and it doesn't believe in it, or is just kind of like skeptical, which that's what changes the dynamic. Is most people think, oh, this person's not my twin, because they expect it to be a soulmate relationship, and it's not. They're opposites. They're the yin and the yang. One is a positive polarity, one is the negative polarity. The divine feminine energy is normally the one pushing, wanting to manifest a special person. And they're just very much so out of themselves looking for love, which the whole mission is all about reversing that, is going within, realizing that you are yourself, your twin is you, and you, when you focus on you and you love yourself, that's when that energy, those two magnets, can come together nicely. But if you are thinking, feeling, and wondering what they are doing all the time, that then pushes them to turn away to think about somebody else. So it's a really strange dynamic. It's not like a soulmate connection, right? A soulmate connection, you might be thinking about that person and really manifesting them, and they will respond to that. They will come in because you're thinking about them. The twin flame will go the other way. And that's these polarities. That's the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And when we understand, which dynamic we're looking to call in, like, you can choose to have a soulmate or you can choose to be with your twin flame. And if you're on my channel, most likely you're a twin flame and you're here for a bigger mission. You're not here to settle in your life. You maybe have had a really traumatic childhood. Most likely twins do. They have that. They deal with neglect, they deal with abuse, and they're just here to transmute it all and to be different. And another big piece about these partnerships is that when two people come together in their divine masculine, divine feminine, if there's an imbalance within them and their own masculine and feminine energy, that will then repel that magnet, right? You can't be together if you're not balanced. So it's a slow, slow, slow coming home to balance those energies to come together. The biggest piece about manifesting a special person, everybody open up your eyes, ears, and hearts. You have to lower and get rid of the fear-based energy. So what keeps two magnets apart is fear, is the logic, is wondering, well, how's this going to work? We don't have anything in common. There's nothing to talk about. But it's an energy. You know, the two magnets aren't going to sit there and talk all night. They're going to magnetize to each other and just be there. Your twin flame and you don't even need to talk. There's telepathy. And they say a lot of times when you're together with your twin, you're literally just with yourself, but it's the most peaceful, most invigorating, most calm energy that you've ever experienced on the planet, because you're finally at home, because you're finally with your other soul. And it's almost like a completion energy. They don't complete you because you are okay without them, but there is an energy when they're not around that you feel that they're not around. So it is a completion energy when you're with them. And I have felt it. And it feels like they give you this life force energy to keep going. And a lot of times the other twin doesn't identify this feeling. They feel it, but then they take it as like a surge of energy. And that's that fear-based energy. They're high and low, high and low. So the more you guys come together, I always call it like bumblebees. You come together, you feel that energy, and then you go away. And sometimes they go and expend that energy with third parties because they don't know what to do with all of that sexual energy, that life force energy. So when we learn to balance, the fear-based energy goes away, and we're no longer thinking about how is this connection going to work? I don't understand this. Why do they keep running? Why am I so pushy? And when that fear dwindles and dwindles and dwindles, then it's just being. It's pure soul. You're literally just sitting there appreciating the sunshine. Maybe you're journaling. Maybe you are going for a walk. Maybe you're in your car dancing and singing. Maybe you're getting a coffee at a really cute cafe, and you're just pure presence. And what happens is you magnetize your twin when you're feeling this way. All of a sudden, they show up in the parking lot, not looking for you. Your souls just magnetically come together. It's like magnets. Okay, so when you're in soul, that's how you manifest your person. Okay, if you want a soulmate, that's not how you do it, but you can. When you're with a soulmate, you're just making your dream person list and you're really thinking about it all the time, and you'll call in a soulmate that way. But with a twin flame, you can't think outside of you because they are you. So you have to put your blinders on and be in your own bubble, be in your own world, wake up, do whatever you want to do. And when you're in your highest joy, acting in integrity, feeling good, that's when the universe will make you guys walk by each other. It'll make you guys drive by each other. It will just bring your souls together. And you're the one in charge of that, right? If you're looking to manifest a special person, you have to get into the frequency of soul. If you are, remember, if you're thinking about what they're doing, you're out of your soul. Okay. You're in mind, you're in the logic. And then that pushes them to be in their logic. And then they start thinking about somebody else to chase. And that will play out in your reality. And you might have to watch it. You might have to experience it. So it's really difficult to pull your energy back when you don't want them with somebody else. So you have to pull your energy back and say, I love myself. I'm going to do what's right for me. And I'm going to trust that my twin will follow suit, that they will start to honor themselves because you're honoring yourself. Okay, so the key to manifesting your twin flame is to be in soul, to not be in fear, to not worry about how the relationship's going to work, what they're doing, feeling, or thinking, or you can't worry about that. You're just literally focused on you, and that's when they magnetize to you. And then there's a whole balancing act once that person comes back in, because you don't want to push again, right? You can't obsess about them. And a lot of times they're the most gorgeous human being you've ever seen because they are you. And you look at them and you're just like, how are you real? You're so beautiful. and you're going to want to stare at them. And that's kind of like that push energy again. So you got to take the energy off of them. You can still enjoy them, but you have to be in their presence and just be very, very present. That's another thing about twin flames before we move on to divine masculine, divine feminine energy, is that when twins are together, there's no talk of the past, there's no talk of the future. You're just so engulfed in the present moment, because as your souls come together, you are pure presence. It's like heaven on earth. And heaven is, there is no time, right? There's no future, there's no past. You're just where you are, you're in the now. So a lot of times people get confused with that energy because they feel blank, but it's also a feeling. It's like the two magnets merge and there's nothing else to do, right? So a lot of times there's no need to even have conversation. You're just existing in that space together, but it is so incredibly peaceful, and they're also really beautiful to look at. But you don't need to say anything. You don't need to look a certain way, but they will honor you in all of that because you honor you in all of that. Okay, so let's shift gears now. Let's talk about the masculine energy, the logic, the doer, the giver. So if you are not balancing your inner masculine as a feminine energy, then your masculine is not going to be in his masculine energy. So it's almost like when we activate the masculine energy within us, that then, if they are the same soul as us, that then activates them. So for example, the other day I got a letter in the mail about my Easy Pass, which is a little device that I have in my Jeep. So anytime I go across a bridge or I need to pay a toll, it automatically pulls money from my account and it pays it, right? Well, it kept saying that I was low funds. And I was like, why is it low funds? Normally it just pulls the $25 from my checking account. So the old me, who was not in her masculine energy, would leave that piece of paper or just put it right in the trash. And I'll be like, oh, I'll go online later and do it. And then I would forget about it. And some things I'm very proactive with, and other things I'm not. Or some things might frazzle me, and I'll be like, oh, I don't feel like dealing with that. But I am now fully in my masculine energy, where I got that in the mail and I immediately called and was like, hey, can you reconnect my account to make sure that it's pulling? And she was like, yeah, sure. Within 5 minutes, it was fixed. Where the old me wouldn't have done that, and I would have kept getting the letters in the mail or the emails, and I wouldn't have done anything about it. So that action that I just did, that also is activating the masculine in my partnership. So that means that he is probably somewhere in the world acting on his thing that he needs to fix in his life. So it's like a parallel thing going on. And sometimes it's like a delay. Like if I do something on a Tuesday, he ends up doing it on a Wednesday. So that's pretty cool too, to see how it's always parallel, and it'll be like that for your whole life. You guys are always going to be in line. There was one time one of my twin flame clients was talking about, she just was like, I just want to get my body so fit and so strong. And then she saw her twin the next day, and he came up to her and he's like, yeah, I just want to see what I can do with my body. It's like they both had the same thoughts about shaping their body, and it was delayed a day. So that's the cool dynamic of these partnerships. But when we activate our masculine energy by taking action, by taking care of our finances, by just doing the small things around the house, we are coming into that balance, and that's dissipating the fear. So if I didn't handle that piece of paper, that would bring up fear in my consciousness, because there would be something lingering that I'm not doing, and that builds and builds and builds fear. So the more we handle our lives and ourselves and take care of ourselves and nurture ourselves, and as we move into the feminine, that's the nurturer, that's the receiver. If you're not allowing people to bring you things, to do things for you, then your partner is not going to allow you to do that for them. Okay. And you guys are going to repel each other. So you have to be able to receive so that they can receive you. Okay. So you have to receive from others so that they can receive you, and vice versa. They have to be willing to receive from others so that they can receive you. And there's nothing worse than wanting to give somebody and they're not ready to receive it. So you have to look at you and turn the mirror back on you and say, where am I not receiving in my life? And another example, I played the All game. It's a spiritual board game. And one of the lessons that I had to learn was I had to be open to receiving as much abundance as I can. And I'm the creator of it. How much abundance am I willing to receive? And we had all these little tokens on the board. And I told the facilitator, I was like, I am so worthy, and I've worked so hard on my receiving. I am taking 2 handfuls of as many tokens as I can, and I'm receiving them. And I did that on Saturday. And this week, I've had the most donations on my channel in years. Like the most ever was this week. And it was just consistent receiving, consistent receiving. I didn't ask for it. It's just coming in. And this is me being in my feminine. It's me finally saying, I'm ready. Here's another example. I got a massage yesterday for 2 hours. I treated myself to a 2-hour massage. And the whole time, this lovely woman was massaging me. She was working on my calves and my feet. Because if you guys didn't know this, the fascia in your calves and feet basically dictate your entire health of your body. So I asked her to really focus on my calves, and I could just feel her hands slowly rubbing my calves, and it felt like love. I felt like it was like a partner giving me love, even though she's not my partner, obviously. She's married and pregnant, but I could just feel a different energy of me receiving the love of maybe an intimate partner doing this for me. So, whether they're physically showing up as a partner or not, are you able to receive love from all different people? Because that's going to reflect in your partnerships. And me this week, I am full blown in my feminine energy. I am receiving the massages, I am receiving the donations. And I know that that's transforming my magnetic abilities to call in a partner. And you can do that too. So I'm sharing this because I want you all to look at the fine details of your life. If you're really looking for a special person, you have to look at your masculine energy. Are you taking care of bills on time? Are you calling places? Are you getting everything in order, all of your ducks in a row? Or are you letting things linger, which builds fear in your nervous system, which then pushes away your counterpart because they cannot come to you when you're in fear? Okay, you have to balance your energy. And I'm not saying when you're married, you can't ever have fear for the rest of your life or your partner's going to leave you. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying as the energies are balancing and coming together and the fears becoming less and less and less, and the magnets can come together, that's because you've learned how to see the fear and transmute it. And the more you do that, the more your person is magnetized to you because you're from soul. You're not living in that fear energy, you're love. Okay, so when we're manifesting a special person, most likely a twin flame energy, we have to be in soul. You have to fully focus on you, your path, your finances. Am I doing everything well? Are my relationships in harmony? You're literally only focused on you. And then you're maybe guiding them every once in a while. My throat chakra is going nuts right now, so this is confirmation. You're pulling the masculine out of them every once in a while. You're activating them with your words. You're calling them into a higher version of who they are. Maybe you're helping them see more of who they are. And sometimes you don't. Sometimes you do that from afar, and they have other women in their life that will activate them. So don't be so resistant to third parties, because sometimes the universe brings them a third party that helps them see more of who they're not. So sometimes our masculines have to go be with women that are not of a high value, and they realize, oh man, I'm not a match to this. What was I thinking? My divine feminine is over here and she's like a goddess. I can't believe I entertain this. But that's part of the process. They don't need to see you as a goddess. They need to see themselves as God. And when they're with somebody who's not a match to that, they realize their strength and their power and their worth. And that's when they get drawn to you, because you are already in that goddess energy, and the two magnets can come together. But if he's not realizing that he's God and has God in him, then he might struggle to come towards you. So he has to keep learning those lessons of what's not a match to him, what's not a match to him, in order for him to finally see his worth, to then know and to push away the fear in his mind, because he doesn't think he's worthy of somebody like you. So his fear has to dwindle and dwindle and dwindle, and see that he is God. He has that God energy in him. He is a God. He's gorgeous. And he needs to see it in himself in order to be able to see it in you. Because people can only love you to the extent that they can love themselves. And you don't want to settle in a partnership where somebody's not loving themselves and you're constantly convincing them. Okay, so that's why most twins are separate and they're not together, is because it's a coming home to who you are and to see the God and goddess in you, so that you can see the God and goddess in your partner. I hope that makes sense. So practice your feminine energy, practice receiving, tell the universe that you are so open, and then you have to say yes when it comes in. And you have to show gratitude for all that you have. You're taking action on all the small things. You're dotting your I's, you're crossing your T's. These things that I just explained in this little bubble, that's what magnetizes your person to you. Is because you're just in your own bubble doing your own thing and everything is hunky-dory, and all of a sudden they start knocking on your door. Okay, because they can feel where their home is. They can feel that goddess energy and they want peace. They want to be in that space with somebody who just diffuses their nervous system and makes them feel so incredibly safe. And they won't be able to find that anywhere else if God made you guys together. So be open to them coming back if they've hurt you. Be open to them apologizing. Allow them to express themselves. Be patient with them. But you are so capable of manifesting a special person. And the trick is to be in soul and to slowly dwindle any fear about what they're doing, who they're seeing, how they're living their life. You have to just trust that those lessons are for them to see their God energy. They have to realize their truth in order to come back to you, because you don't want them coming back to you if they don't know their worth, because you will literally spend the rest of your life trying to convince them of how great they are, but they don't ever see it. So you want them to go find what doesn't work so that they can really see what does work and feel that peace with you. All right, I hope this video helped. If you need help on your twin flame journey or manifesting a special person, book a reading with me, book a coaching session with me. You can also join my online community called Awaken Your Magic, where we talk about all of this and I do readings on it too. Everything is in the description box. I will see you guys in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and thank you for supporting me and my channel. All right, go be the gods and goddesses that you are. All right, peace out.